faster. Now, the ones you work with one-on-one are going to learn it better. They're going to learn it more deeply. But the others are going to learn it too. And he said, by watching other people and watching their screw-ups, you don't have to screw up yourself. You say, oh, don't do it like that. I'll try to do it like that. And you will pick up the behaviors. How many of you have learned things from YouTube videos? That's what's going on here, right? What our IT people will do is they will put up a YouTube video showing us how to log into something or how to download a program or something like that, rather than come to my office to do it. Rather than come to my office to show me how to do it. Rather than come to my department and show us all. Because that YouTube video is easier. It's more efficient. Now, I may still have questions. I may still have to follow up. But there's a lot of people who wouldn't then have to. So this makes the process more efficient. Now, educators may beg to differ. Anyone familiar with Bloom's pedagogical taxonomy? Nobody? Anyone want to be a teacher? Nobody? Couple of you may actually want to. You get grad school aspirations, might want to be a professor, those kind of things. What this basically says is the exact opposite of what Bandura is contending. Saying that watching somebody do it, hearing about it, reading about it, watching the video is nowhere near as good for you learning than doing something more active. In fact, the kind of learning we try to do now is actually called active learning. If you have people critique, if you have people play with it, if you have people compare and contrast, if you have people apply, they learn it more deeply than if they read about it or hear about it. But, because this resulted in people thinking the lecture is a horrible way to convey information. And people thought the lecture was evil for a while. And now the lecture is rebounding. Because one of the things they're finding is the fastest way to get a lot of information out to a lot of people is through lecture. And what I try to do is make it as active as we can do it. Try to have some discussion, some back and forth, some critiques, try to make you think, try to make you consider, go down some garden paths. But lectures are a really easy way to get a lot of information out there. You're not going to learn it as deeply as if we sat down in my office one-on-one. But you're going to learn a lot. And that's what Bandura is saying. Now there are some processes that help out here. First of all, we need to have attention. So, say attention probably helps to be awake. Right? So if you're trying to learn the hammer fist strike like Madison did, and you're asleep during the demonstration, you can't learn. Right? So you need to have the ability to encode the information. You have to be paying attention. Second, once the information's in, you have to be able to think about it. You have to be able to think about it, and you have to retrieve it. So you got to be able to save it until later. So if you saw the demonstration, but you did not remember it, you didn't successfully encode it, and it's not there for retrieval, then you can't mimic the behavior. You can't enact the behavior that you're supposed to learn. So you might be attentive in class, but really what matters is whether or not you can put this answer down 2 weeks from now when that exam pops up. Right? So you're going to have the ability to retain. So if for whatever reason you have the inability to retain, maybe your hippocampus isn't firing real well, maybe you got a concussion, amnesia, that's fine, I've had it twice, this would be a problem. Then you have to be able to do the behavior. So you saw the demo, you remembered the demo. From the demo, any of you going out to hook kicks and spinning back kicks? Pete's like, I got it, completely. Kate's like, me too. Sam's like, me too. Awesome. Most people will be like, yeah, no, I am going to split my pants if I try that. So what happens is you have to have the ability to enact the behavior. If you can't enact the behavior, it's not an option for you. Yes, Calvin.
I guess this might be like your ability to reenact behavior, I guess, kind of wrong. But like, so disabled people, are they capable, like, have we measured aggression in them?
There's lots of ways aggression can manifest. I don't know that they've been targeted as a particular population, but I would say that you would be aggressive in whatever way best fits that situation for you. And there are times, like, I know how to throw hook kicks, but if I get mad at someone in a faculty meeting, hook kicking is not an option, right? So there might be other ways that you would vent that. And then you have to want to do it. So you might be in the situation, and you remember it, you encoded it well, right? You were attentive during it, and you can do the behavior. But like I said, I hook kick someone in a faculty meeting, there's problems for me. So I'm not motivated to enact that behavior in that situation. These 4 things have to happen. These 4 things have to be lined up correctly in order for the behavior to be abandoned. Does this make some sense? Yes?
If you're just watching someone and then like they do something and you immediately do what they do, don't you skip number 2, or would that not be learning?
No, you still, it's retention quickly, but you still have to retain. In order for you to do anything, there has to be encoding, there has to be retrieval. Anything longer than about, what's short-term memory, about 25 seconds?
Yeah.
I'm looking at my cognitive people.
15 to 25.
So yeah, anything longer than that, it has to have been encoded.
So if it's immediate, then it didn't have to have been encoded?
Well, I'd say that once you've engaged in the behavior, you've taught yourself the behavior, and it's now going to be encoded and more likely to be retrieved later. The issue with this is that aggression is fun. It's really, really fun. If any of you have ever been in a contact sport, it's fun. I played football in high school and college. My favorite moments were blocks. When I lit somebody up, it wasn't the touchdowns I scored, the catches I made, it was blocks I put on people. Why?
So you see the progression, you're celebrating it.
It's taboo. It's not something I'm supposed to do. We talk about the human nature elements. It's fun. And unfortunately, that's not great. This is a quote from Wesley Snipes after he'd done a movie called Undisputed about boxing. It's not a great movie, but this quote was interesting. I mean, there is something liberating with knocking someone out. You have never experienced that, but it's a very liberating thing. You know, it can be addictive. First time it happened, you're like, whoa, 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 I like that. And then you want to do it again. There's something really visceral about this. Ray Lewis, Hall of Fame linebacker for the Baltimore Ravens, said, if I ever get that hit on a star player, the game is over immediately. That hit is a tone setter. You hit him and you feel something coming out of him. Now he feels it, his team feels it. See, when I hit you, I'm not hitting you for to get up or keep playing the game. If I can end it early, I will. It's a power trip. It's a shift of control, of might. This is not just preventing the other team from scoring a touchdown. This is not instrumentally keeping them out of the end zone. This is enforcing your domination physically onto somebody else. And this guy did this a lot for a long time, which is why he's in the NFL Pro Football Hall of Fame. And he liked it. This is one of the issues about learning and about teaching. It's easy to teach people this stuff because it appears this is an innate visceral reinforcer. And when people like to do this stuff, what do we call it? Starts with an S.
Sadism.
Sadism. And now we have a situation where people will like to do bad things to other people. This is a problem. And on that pessimistic note, happy spring break. So, we'll see. The quiz winners. All right. So we had 2 winners. The reason we had 2 winners is my grad students picked one, and I thought a different one was better. So I won't tell you which one's which. So the winners that we had were Sarah, Diana, Mitchell, and Catherine. And Catherine, Sarah, Maddie, and Kate. The rest of you got credit for it. You all had worthy things for us to consider. But those that I just read out, you got the extra 10 points.
What were they? Can you know it?
Let's see. So briefly, the one with Sarah and her team, they predicted that homeless individuals would be giving their lunch to other people. And it just gets more complicated than that. And then the others, you'll see their handwriting's kind of messed up. Okay. So this one, they wanted to see if someone would help somebody who collapsed, if they would potentially die by helping the person who collapsed. It was someone they did not know.
This person had a life-threatening disease. That's why it was altruistic, kind of. So, just to clarify.
I should have had you guys. Yeah. All right, we'll pick this up on Monday after break. Have fun, stay safe.